Could you believe someone like me owns real estate? When I say someone like me, I didn't go to college. No one in my family owns real estate investments. So many of you are probably wondering, how did I get started and how did I earn the confidence to do such a thing? I'm going to jump right into it. So let's start with why I recommend investing into real estate. Where first, it's passive income. So passive income is money that works for you rather than you working for money. Whereas I'm not trading my time for money, where my income is coming from my rental property. Appreciation. So throughout history, home prices have gone up in value. Principal pay down. So what that means is that my tenant is paying for the mortgage and I receive a profit from that as well. Also diversify. So I also own stocks as well. So most of my stocks are in Tesla. So that is why I started investing into real estate. There are also tax benefits when it comes to real estate. So I highly recommend talking to a CPA about that because I am not one. And did you know that most millionaires were created by doing real estate investments? So there are so many ways you can get started. So today I'm just gonna talk about a few. You can also get involved with real estate investing is flipping homes, meaning that you purchase a home and then you fix it up, you do the renovations, and then you sell it for a higher price. So then this way you do make a profit. Of course, something like that isn't considered passive income, but it's definitely a way where you can earn money. Or you could be like me. So what we did is we hired a property management company. So we do use the company Doorvest. So we chose Doorvest because it's beginner friendly, and honestly, like, I had no background in real estate investing whatsoever. Everything is done remotely, meaning I do everything from my phone. Like, I manage our property and I'm in contact with our property manager through our phone because me and Angelo's real estate property is in a whole nother state. It's actually crazy. We actually never been to that property before, and we've done everything virtually through Zoom calls, FaceTime, all that kind of stuff. What I really like is that you could reserve a home. So meaning, let's say you do want to invest in this property with Doorvest, you don't have to worry about anybody outbidding you because once you reserve that home, like, that home is for you. So like, let's say hypothetically the home is $100,000 and somebody outside says, oh, but I'll get this home for $120,000. Nope, it's already reserved for me. I also really liked how renovations were included with the price because once you do renovations for a home, it definitely increases its value. I also really liked how there was 1 year guarantee for maintenance and also rent, meaning let's say they get a tenant for you and that tenant maybe only stays for 3 months and then doesn't pay their rent. So with Doorvest, what I really liked is that you have 1 year rent guaranteed no matter what happens. And the same thing with maintenance. So we actually had our first maintenance issue. So we came to find out that a couple of months in, the tenant lives there and the refrigerator broke and all his meat has gone bad. So the property management team just let us know, like, hey, the refrigerator broke and we need to replace it. However, since that happened within its first year, they covered that cost for us, which is great. I also really liked how we didn't have to seek out contractors for renovations either, just because I feel like with contractors, like, there definitely has to be like that level of trust. You want to make sure they're reputable and all that kind of stuff. So I really feel like they did the hard work in that way for us, which is great and something I'm so happy I didn't have to deal with. And to be honest, I know very minimum when it comes to like contractors and renovations and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, since we do work with a property management company, they do take a fee. So that's always something you definitely want to be mindful of, again, because they also have to get paid as well. What's really nice too is, like, no offense to any tenants out there or anything, but as the landlord, I don't need to talk to the tenant whatsoever because that's what the property management team is there for. Again, I'm talking about Doorvest just because we work with them. However, there are a bunch of different property management companies out there. So even though you are, let's say, hypothetically working with a property management company, at the end of the day, this is your property. You own this property and you definitely want to take ownership over it as well. So when I say that, you definitely want to follow up. So I like to follow up monthly, like, hey, is there anything we need to know about the property? anything like that, because again, you are the owner of this property. This is your real estate, this is your investment, and you just want to make sure that you are taking ownership over it. Again, at the end of the day, the property management team is working for you, but you're not working for them. And again, it really is your investment and your responsibility to make sure that you are following up and making sure everything is getting done. Lastly, I also really like Doorvest because they also recommend lenders for you. So I found that really helpful, especially as a beginner. Of course, with every investment, there might be some downside. Again, there's always that risk too. Again, I'm not here to give you any advice whatsoever. I'm just talking based on my experience and what worked, I guess, for me and why I did choose to invest into real estate. So since it is a rental property, it is an investment, it is required that you do have to put down 20 to 30% of the total cost. You also want to make sure when you are vetting tenants that you are getting background checks, you're also checking credit scores, and that you're getting references from them as well. Also, another downside, it is your home, meaning that if anything breaks, you are responsible to fix it. So let's talk about my experience. To start, I remember leading up to the final part of purchasing the home and meeting with the notary and signing all those documents. I was nervous. Like, I think it's so easy for us to second guess ourselves and ask, like, is this a good idea? Am I making the right choice? Like, this is a lot of money. Like, am I putting all my eggs in one basket? However, what really got me through that was that me and my fiance, we were just in it together. Like, we both agreed that this is definitely the best choice for us at this time in our lives. And we're just like, let's just do it. Like, we're going all in. And that's what we did. When we met with the notary, no joke, it was like a stack full of papers like this thick, where you're just constantly signing and signing and signing. The notary we worked with was really nice. They came to the home. You just have to set an appointment. She said we could meet with her at like a local public place, like a Starbucks or a Panera, or we can have her come to the home. So we had her come to the home. I remember she pulled up in like this beautiful Mercedes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we getting ourselves into? But anyway, so she came to the house and we just signed a bunch of forms. She kind of explained to us what we were signing and going through all that kind of stuff. So that definitely did take some time. And then after that, like, that was it. Like, once she left, like, holy cow, like, we own a house, like, we own a rental property. Like, that's crazy. Like, we would talk about this for the longest time, where like one of our goals is to own real estate, really for that passive income. Also too, leading up to it, you want to make sure you get approved for a loan, and we did. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is such like an adult moment where like we were approved for a loan. Like, we were approved for X amount of money. Like, that is wild. We always work so hard on our credit, just making sure, again, really for a moment like this, where having good credit is so important. If you're not already working on your credit, definitely get started, because you never know when you need it. And when it comes to purchasing a home, that is something they check, which is your credit. So I remember they also had to check for proof of funds. So they want to make sure that you are able to afford and purchase this home. I remember I had to give them a bunch of information, like my social security, where do I work, how long have I worked, and gave them all this information. They check your debt. Do you have any current debt? How much do you owe? So yeah, so a lot of this stuff was leading up to it, but overall, my experience, it's definitely something I won't forget, because again, this is our first rental property. Like, we own a home. Like, just saying that is wild, because again, like I mentioned before, we had no experience. We didn't have friends and family who were able to guide us in this way or anything like that. It was more so us doing our own research about it and really taking that first step. So if you're someone who clicked on this video, most likely you are looking to invest into real estate. So my biggest advice would be do as much research as you can. If you know of anybody, ask them questions, whether it's connecting with people through YouTube, social media, you know, seeking other people out there. But if you do have any questions, definitely comment them below. If this is your first time here, definitely consider subscribing below, clicking that like button, and thank you for watching.